What up guys, welcome to the next video on this channel where I'm going to be interviewing Dekota Dickerson, former US Formula 4 and Formula 3 champion. Hope you guys enjoy the video.
Good day mate, how are you doing today?
Good, how's it going?
I'm good, thanks. How's lockdown been?
Nah, it's been alright, just been on the sim a lot more than usual, but yeah, everybody's healthy and wild, just hang out inside. So yeah, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good. You know, our school got cancelled, so I guess that's better than nothing.
Yeah, for sure. Are you guys online, or is it done? Are you guys just online now?
No, we have our WhatsApp groups and the teachers just keep sending us the work over there, so yeah.
No, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, we kind of got a lot of work in that formation.
Yeah,
so yeah, a lot of work.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I have a few questions here for the interview that I've composed, so we're just going to start with it?
Cool. Sounds good.
Sweet. So how was your debut in single-seater car racing overall?
It was good. So like I came up through a racing school called Skip Barber. So I did karts initially, and Skip Barber had a program where they gave out scholarships for go-karters coming up through the ranks. And that was kind of how I got my feet wet in the open wheel category. And it was pretty quickly after that I kind of got some really big opportunities with Team USA. So they choose 2 drivers from the US, and we go over to England to race in the Formula Ford Festival and Walter Hayes Trophy in 1600 cars. So that was a year after I started racing Formula cars. That was really cool. And then also won the championship shootout for Skip Barber, which is a $200,000 scholarship to go to USF 2000. So I was fortunate enough to have a lot of success very early on in the open wheel career of mine. So very fortunate to have that. And from there, we've just kind of tried to build off of it.
So you kind of got lucky in that instance to get the opportunity.
Yeah, the big thing was with Team USA was they kind of survey drivers from around the country. So they look at all the types of like junior Formula Series in the country and see who's performing well. And there's basically like a shootout. So they choose around 12 to 20 drivers. You go through an interview process, like an on-track evaluation process, everything from like interviews to business plans to fitness. They kind of evaluate a bunch of drivers. So in that sense, it was really cool to be a part of that, and definitely fortunate to be one of the 2 drivers selected.
And that's when the road to glory started for you.
Yeah, I'd say that was definitely like a really big springboard in my career. Was like that Team USA scholarship was probably what catalyzed a lot of it.
Pretty interesting. And last year you actually won the US, or not last year, a few years back, you won the US F4 championship. How was that experience?
Oh, it was awesome. So I did USF 2000 before that, and then transitioned into F4 in 2017. So I did a half a season then, and then tried to do the full championship in 2018 with DC Autosport with Cape Motorsports, and it was a top-of-the-line program. Like, they definitely had some of the quickest cars out there, so we knew we had a really good chance of winning the championship, and just tried to be super consistent. And at the end of the day, we didn't start the season off super well. We didn't get our first win until I think like round 8 or 9. But we're just super consistent, and ultimately that's what led to the championship.
Yeah, and you won it in 2018, which was also your first full year in the championship, if I'm correct.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so 17 we did a half year. 18 was our first full year in the championship.
The one you won. And in that season, you actually had 4 race wins, 11 podiums, plus 3 podiums in Virginia and 2 wins and a podium in New Jersey. Those are pretty solid weekends.
Yeah, the New Jersey weekend was probably like the most memorable and kind of the biggest one for us, is because we were leading the championship going into there. And a lot had to happen in order for us to lock up the championship. And we kind of came out of the gate with a lot of pace and had some good races. And some of the guys that we were competing with in the championship had some misfortune. So New Jersey was probably one of our best overall weekends for sure.
And that's where you took the 2 wins plus the podium, which is actually a great point weekend for you.
Yeah, it was a great points haul, and we locked it up in the third race of that weekend, so definitely really special.
I can imagine that, hey? So what was the best part of the USF4 championship campaign?
There's a lot of really memorable moments. The way the championship's set up is its final weekend is the kind of the biggest one because we run with the Formula One guys at COTA. So we had that New Jersey weekend like we were talking about. That was super cool because we were able to lock up the championship there. But then the last weekend, which is the race weekend after New Jersey, we run with Formula One in Austin, and that one's always super special because the crowd there is massive. You're racing, basically you're just pitted a few, just down the road of the F1 guys, so it's really cool, and the racing there is always really fun in the F4 cars just because of the long straightaways, so that one's really special too. And then our first win in the F4 car came at Mid-Ohio that year, so that weekend was definitely a highlight too.
Sounds very interesting. And like you said, at Dakota, when you guys were racing on the F1 supporter program, that must have been pretty special racing in front of all of those F1 teams.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. I mean, to hope that you're on the radar for some of those F1 teams is really cool, and you're gonna get a little bit of a behind-the-scenes action too. A lot of them allow you into the pits and things like that if you kind of have the right connection. So it's definitely really awesome to be alongside of them, and it's something that I hope I can continue to keep doing.
Hopefully we'll see you in Formula One day.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm getting a bit old though. I'm 23 now, so my time might be expired for F1, but we'll see.
But still, motor racing in general, pretty cool career to follow.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, between IMSA now and IndyCar, I think those are two reasonable goals for us.
That's pretty interesting. And how was it winning the American F3 Championship? That was last year.
Yeah, so winning the F3 Americas Championship was really special too. Obviously, coming off of a fresh F4 championship, wanted to build off that momentum, and the scholarship that came with F4 was super important for us being able to do F3. So definitely wanting to kind of continue winning and continue with the success. We kind of got off the season off to a good start with a second place position and a win. So I knew I had good pace all season. It was one of those things too where try and snag some wins and be super consistent and kind of emulate what we did in F4. At the end of the day, it was very similar. We were able to lock up the championship with one weekend early, which was pretty special as well.
And like you said, you just wanted to keep the consistency running, which you actually did by scoring 5 wins and 11 podiums. Pretty solid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it was really good. I mean, we had there was definitely a lot of missed opportunities for sure. I mean, we had some mistakes here and there and a couple of mechanicals here and there, but at the end of the day, the results were still very strong for 16 race, 17 race championship. To have that many podiums and decent amount of wins is pretty strong, and a big kudos to the Global Racing Group guys for that as well.
But yeah, consistency is key in motorsport.
For sure, yeah. I mean, especially in those longer championships, like when we have 16, 17 races in a championship, the consistency bit of it is, almost as important as the wins. So it's super important to keep a level head and know when to attack.
Let's just have a little talk about that Pittsburgh weekend, which was a pretty solid weekend for you, taking 3 wins.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely the best weekend for us in terms of the F3 Americas Championship. So there's a series test of the week of the race event. We got there and it was apparent that we had extremely good pace, so felt really confident going into it. Went into the official sessions, qualified on pole, got a track record, and then won every race, led every lap of the race, and set a track record again in the race as well. So in terms of racing, it really can't get much better than that. And yeah, I mean, everything just kind of clicked that weekend. The car was right on point. We didn't have any major issues. So all in all, that's probably a dream weekend that any racer can have.
So you had a kind of the perfect weekend that weekend, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, those are definitely really rare. So you got to cherish those moments and appreciate them when they happen.
So I'm just going to go by gut and say that was your best moment in the F3 Americas.
Yeah, I think for sure. Probably that was definitely probably one of the best moments of that season. Yeah, I'd say that's probably accurate.
So what's next for you in your career? What's your aspirations for the following years?
So right now we've transitioned into the prototype racing. So for winning the F3 Americas Championship, we get a scholarship to continue our partnership with Ligier. So they're the manufacturers of the F4 and F3 cars, and they also build the JSP3, which runs in IMSA Prototype Challenge. So we're running their JSP3 with IMSA. Hopefully we can get our season kicked off, continuing very soon. We'll see what kind of happens in terms of the world events, but we'll try and win that championship in LMP3, keep on moving up. If we can move up into the P2 ranks with MLT Motorsports, that would be fantastic, and kind of see where that goes. Obviously we have a big, my career has kind of been based off of our Formula car success, so we want to keep that door open as well. But right now we're primarily focused in the prototype ranks.
So any Le Mans in the future hopes for you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that'd be amazing. Being able to go over to Le Mans and race there, and 24 Hours Daytona for sure. I think I still need a little bit more experience with the longer professional endurance races for sure. I mean, there's so many variables and factors, and there's definitely a lot of stuff that I still need to learn before I can go over and compete with the big boys at Le Mans, 24 Hours Daytona. But I think the experience that I'm getting in the IMSA Prototype Challenge has been super critical for that.
But yeah, I would love to see you driving in Le Mans, or just even IndyCar. I would love to see you in there as well, because I kind of am a big fan.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, the new regulations with the kind of IMSA and FIA converging, I think that's really good. Gives a lot of people that are over here in the States that are racing in the prototype ranks can kind of jump over, and a lot of the teams and manufacturers can cross over between IMSA and FIA. So it's I think it's creating a lot of great opportunities, and hopefully for us drivers too, once all of this kind of settles down, we're able to take advantage of that.
So just one last question before you go. The championships you're competing in this year, man, are you guys still going to do a full season calendar, or is the calendar going to be shorter?
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing for us right now is I don't know, which gives me anxiety, and I wish I had an answer for you. But basically right now, so we got our first race of the season kicked off. That was in January, so we were fortunate enough to start the season. We were supposed to have the 12 Hours of Sebring, which we were going to be a support series for in March. That got moved to November of this year. And then our third event, which was at Mid-Ohio, that's supposed to take place May 1st. That got moved to September, I believe. So the next one on the calendar is Mosport, which is 4th of July weekend for us. That's obviously still up in the air. So we'll see kind of where the world events lead us. I think it would be awesome if we could go there, but I don't know. It's up to the series to see what makes sense and where the health concerns are at and everything. So I think it'll be tricky if that one gets moved or delayed, canceled. It'll be a really good indicator as to what happens for our championship, because if Mosport gets moved, then it'll be hard to reschedule that event with the weather and everything. So we'll kind of have to see where it goes. I'm hoping that we get a full championship. Obviously, we only do 6 races in this championship with the endurance format. So if one of them gets delayed, it starts getting really tricky at that point. But hopefully we can put on a good show for a lot of the fans.
Well, thanks a lot for your time, Dakota. Like I said, I am a big fan, because when I started watching the USF4 was when you actually won the championship. So
awesome.
I kind of just latched on to you as a supporter, because
awesome.
All of the names you know.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I appreciate the support, and thanks for doing this Instagram Live. Hopefully people can start following your fan page, and really appreciate everything that you're doing for us young drivers moving up through the ranks.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you young drivers giving me such great racing to watch.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you very much.
Have a good day. Cheers.
Thank you guys for watching this video on the channel, and hope you all really enjoyed it. I know I can still probably work on my interview skills. I'm not the best person to conduct interviews, but I'm a big Dekota Dickerson fan, so I was a bit starstruck today. But I hope you guys will just bear with me because personally I think I'm improving on the videos. But yeah, I would really appreciate your guys' feedback.